What's up guys, welcome to Voicey here. This is your host, Captain Zach, and today's subreddit is r/IDontWorkHereLady. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that bell to never miss an episode. This story's called, Indian Karen Gets Annoyed When I Don't Help Her With Her Shopping and When I Can't Offer Information About the Sales. And they also say, Antagonist is an Indian Karen. I'm an Indian. This incident happened in India. I refer to her as Indian Karen throughout because that's my nickname for her. Karen, by itself, sounds too white for us. So here's my first ever I Don't Work Here Lady. Never thought I'd have one. I'm always in dresses and flowy clothing, so there's no way that anyone would think I work in retail, right? Well, today I was at Zara. Their sale had just begun. My Zara sales strategy is to check for what I like and then cross my fingers and hope the same stuff in my size is still available 2 to 3 weeks later, when the prices are slashed to their lowest. I've managed to score shoes, including heels and boots, for as low as $5 to $13 and dresses for around $11 to $18. All rates are converted from Indian rupees to US dollars. A lot of people don't get my train of thought, but if you look at it this way, when there's a sale, people tend to get impulsive and end up buying things they don't actually wear. I'm the same. That's why I wait for the slashed prices until others have had their pick and leave it to the universe to see what remains for me. It works. Anyway, on to the story. I was looking at black boots. My current pair is on its last leg and I need to find a nice replacement. The sale items are marked down from $85 US to about $56 US. I was looking for styles I liked and checking to see if my size was available. I have huge feet, so most times I tend to get my size easily. I come across a pair I like and on closer inspection realize the pair I was looking at was paired incorrectly. They were 2 different styles of boots and weren't even the same length. They just had similar studs around the edge, as someone made an easy mistake and put them together. Probably an overworked retail staff member since Zara really gets crazy over the weekends, especially when on sale. So I picked up the one I liked and tried it on. It fit well. So I looked around for the other missing shoe to complete this pair. I found it 12 to 13 boots away. Trying to do the decent thing, I swapped the wrong styles and matched the pairs, only to realize that one of the pairs I put together had 2 different sizes. Now I was latched into this. I felt I couldn't just leave it like that. I remember once when my intern bought shoes from Zara in the past. I work in fashion and events and am a fashion stylist. They both happened to be different sizes. One was 39 and the other was 40. So yeah, I spent all of 3 minutes matching the pairs together. And then enters the antagonist of my story, an Indian Karen in a traditional Indian outfit. She was clearly shopping for someone else, maybe a daughter. Anyway, as I was still squatting by the shoes I just put together, she walks right into me, causing me to almost lose my balance, and demands, in Hindi, that I find a size 39 in the shoe I just placed down. Since I had a look at most of the shoe sizes merely a minute ago, I was able to point out where the correct size was. Also, thanks to my profession, I have the ability to look at a shoe and know its size without looking with an 85% accuracy. Indian Karen seems satisfied for a minute, and as I rise and turn to walk away, she stops me. She starts asking how long this sale will last. Using my own knowledge, I said, maybe 2 to 3 weeks, but I said I wasn't sure. She didn't seem too happy with my response. Next, she pointed to a rack and asked why those denims weren't on sale. And again, I had no response. So I said, I don't know. She seemed to look disgusted with me. I start to politely explain how I don't work here, only to be interrupted by a younger, pretty girl. Definitely her daughter, a modern version of Indian Karen. This girl has taken all her fashion and style tips from Instagram influencers, so she's on trend with her style. Of course, she's mixed at least 5 different trends together, which in my opinion is too many, but I can see the effort. She begins to grab the shoes from her mother while also juggling an ample amount of clothing in her hands. And just as she does, she drops a couple of pieces. I plan my exit while the mother and daughter are occupied getting their things in order. Excuse me, the girl voice shoots out and the mother stares daggers at me. as I was starting to walk away from them. Her mother yells at me to get them a shopping bag. I point to a rack in the corner and say, "They're right there." The girl says, "Can you get them for us?" I was now enjoying myself because I kept thinking, OMG, I actually have a submission for I Don't Work Here Lady. So I looked at the girl and said, "No." She looked surprised and her mother started to burst with rage. She then begins complaining to her daughter in Gujarati about what an annoying person I was and how unhelpful I was being, and how I'm not interested in my job, and it's a wonder how they hired me since it seems that all I care about is only wearing makeup and pretty dresses that aren't work appropriate. I let her finish, and then I look squarely at the daughter and say, "I don't work here, I'm shopping here. Just like you two. Your mom asked for help with the shoes, so I helped her. But that's where I draw the line. I'm not getting you a shopping bag and holding your items for you. Because again, I don't work here." Then I look at the mother and say, "You're welcome, by the way." The girl looks so embarrassed and apologizes to me. The mother looks all confused and still really doesn't understand what just happened. The daughter drags her away and starts talking to her sharply in Gujarati, while I decide I've had enough of Zara for now and will return towards the end of this month. Man, I gotta tell you guys, you really start to appreciate when stories are written this well, because this was written very well, and I appreciate it. Anyways, regarding the actual story itself, I don't have much to say other than that this follows a similar trend as other stories in the subreddit, where someone decides to use their knowledge of the store to help someone out, and then that someone gets a little entitled, and by a little I mean a lot entitled. But yeah, I appreciate this story, and I appreciate how well written this is and how believable it is. This story's called "I Will Speak to Your Manager." This story is quite short and tame compared to other stories on the subreddit, and honestly, I didn't even know the subreddit existed before what happened to me. Couldn't believe how many more people experience this, so I also want to share my one. So here we go. During Boxing Day, I went to one of the busiest shopping centers in Sydney to pick up on some of the sales with my mom. After 2 hours of shopping, we were in a classy men's clothing shop where it was absolutely packed. We picked out some clothes for me, my fam, and all, then lined up in the queue. That's when my mom noticed a sign saying, "Further 5% off when you become a VIP." My mom encouraged me to sign up, and to my luck, my phone was dead. And when I was using my mom's phone, I couldn't, for the life of me, figure out where the sign-up link was. I swear I'm a millennial. When it was our turn to check out, the counter girl asked if we're a VIP, and I explained to her that I can't figure out how to sign up. So she invited me behind the counter where she loaded up the VIP sign-up. Once I was done, I look up to see my mom disappeared, and I was not gonna pay for this stuff. I asked the cashier if I can be excused for a second to get my mom, and she said she'll scan the items through and slipped me a receipt paper to write my number so she can apply my discount. Before the next part, which is when a customer confuses me for an employee, I just want to emphasize that I wasn't wearing anything remotely similar to what the employees were wearing. The employees were all wearing black shirts, trousers, black shoes, and had name tags. I was wearing a casual white tee with a Ford Mustang on it, brown shorts, and blue shoes. But I do understand that it could have been confusing because I was leaving the counter after being on the computer. Anyways, this is when a customer came up to me. Everyone on Reddit knows what the Karen looks like, so no real intro needed here. I hop out of the counter and Karen waddles over to me and gives me an item of clothing. Says, "I want a smaller size. Can you get one for me?" Again, I understood the confusion because I was behind the counter. So I smiled and casually responded, "Oh, I don't work here," and handed her the clothes back. I walked up to my mom, who wasn't too far, and told her that the items were ready and that she shouldn't have left the line. My mom began to scurry back and I turned around to see Karen at my face, very uncomfortably close. She asked me, "Have you found it yet?" Now, I was confused at this point, but assumed she just didn't hear me when I told her that I didn't work there. So again, I told her that I don't work there and began walking off. "Excuse me?" I heard her yell and I couldn't be bothered to turn around and stop, so I told her I don't work here yet again while walking this time. Then this woman takes my shoulder and physically pulls me back. She threatened me by saying, "I will speak to your manager if you keep neglecting me." That made me crack up for so many reasons. I've told her 3 times that I don't work there, and she's gonna speak to a manager? Also, I just found it funny because I'm not in sales. I don't even work in the state. And if she wants to speak to my actual manager, she'll have to go to a swimming pool in Canberra and talk to a gigantic man. Anyways, this time I sighed, puffed up my chest, and wide-eyed with a slightly raised voice, enough to grab a bit of attention from other customers. I slowly said, "I do not work here." Her reaction was hilarious. She was like, "Oh," and looked like she crapped her pants. The customers around us were giggling a little too, and an actual employee popped up smiling and said, "Was there a bit of confusion here?" He laughed it off, and so did Karen actually. Fun times. I went back to the counter where my mom bought some really classy shirts at a bargain price, and I told her what happened. The counter chick also began laughing. I even waved Karen goodbye on the way out. Like I said, the story was more tame than most of these other r/IDontWorkHereLady posts. I even got the biggest surprise that night. When I had some of my mates over, the counter girl actually texted me. Cheeky bug actually kept my number on the receipt paper. Fun times. Well, that was a pleasant little story. Also, good job on, I guess nothing. Well, good for you that she hit you up. Score. This story's called, "Today I fudged up by telling my family I've always wanted colorblind glasses to see if I'd cry." Being colorblind was always a good conversation piece over the years. People ask you the dumb questions like, "What color's this?" while pointing at a freaking Bud Light can, which is obviously blue. Or, "What color's my phone?" which is a black freaking iPhone. I could tell you that if I was blind. So, obviously, people that can see colors normally have a hard time grasping the concept, which I totally understand. In the past few years, I've been dating my girlfriend and she always found an interest in my color deficiency. As much as I try to explain it, I don't think she or others ever really get what it is. I honestly don't even get what it is. It's actually a good conversation starter when we meet new people, so it has come up a lot over the years. Fast forward to last month. My aunt was in town and we had a family gathering. My aunt, whose son is also colorblind, asked me to take a colorblind test on her phone because she wanted to look into getting in chromas for her son as a Christmas gift and wanted to get my opinion on the glasses. We all are a few drinks deep at this point, and I have low-key over the years told my family that I always wondered if they actually make you cry because I've seen all the videos like you've probably seen. I thought nothing of it and sped through the colorblind test she just Googled. I have mild pro-tan colorblindness according to this test. My girlfriend made a big deal out of my gift this year, like it would blow me away. She's super creative and I'm a freaking dunce at times, so I honestly didn't put it together. She even put it in a huge box to make it more confusing. Come Christmas Day, she said I have to save it for last. I am a 26-year-old child that always asks for gadgets and electronics. My mom never fails and got me a crappy drone and telescope last year. Love you, Mom. I thought this year I was getting a professional telescope as the box was big as hell. The only hint I got was I would probably cry. So it's Christmas Day. We had my family and my girlfriend's family all together and I was specifically told to wait to open my gift last. I finally get to my big gift and I'm more than anxious to see what it is. I get down to the little box and there it is. CX3, SP, and Chroma sunglasses. I am not only being watched by about 10 people, but recorded by my girlfriend and sister for my reaction. I'm super excited to see what the hell I've been missing out on color-wise, and start to panic as well from the pressure. I don't even read the instructions and go, "Well, are you guys ready? Should I put them on here? Do I go outside? What do I do?" I can feel everyone just wanting me to put them on, so I go for it. I close my eyes, put on the glasses, and wait to be amazed. As I open my eyes with the sunglasses on, I look around the room. It was like wearing sunglasses with a pink hue indoors. I awkwardly look around the room and say, "So this is what you guys see? I see nothing but a pink overload. No crying, no nothing. Just awkward staring for what felt like forever." I could feel the disappointment. How could Enchroma advertise something that you'd think would be so beautiful, and here I am, looking like a freaking butthole in front of my loved ones, waiting for me to break down in tears and thank them endlessly? I felt nothing but embarrassment and confusion. Everyone pretty much acted like it didn't happen after 30 seconds of me looking around confused, indoors with freaking sunglasses on. After all of that, I look at the instructions and it says to put them on outside and wear them for up to 10 minutes to adjust to it. For best results, wear them for 10 hours a day for the next 2 weeks. I went outside and looked around, just trying to make them feel like I appreciated the kind gift. I've worn them the past 2 days and I kind of get it, I guess, but what the hell does Enchroma think they're selling? I feel like they just make colors look like an Instagram filter. I probably rambled way too much here, but I wanted to give you my full experience of a product that is $400 and claims to blow your mind. I feel like it takes advantage of those who just want to see what everyone else sees. Maybe I'm being too negative, I don't know. I just felt like the hype for these are not what you think. Oh, I love those videos. For their emotional value, but also because I'm just thinking about Logan Paul, because wasn't he like fake colorblind and then he cried in that video where he got the glasses? That was funny. But yeah, I can imagine this situation being insanely awkward because $400 is not cheap for a Christmas gift. I understand them wanting him to have that sort of emotional reaction, them being the family, but I also feel like that's an unnecessary amount of pressure because, face it, they wanted to record it for the Facebook points, right? Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that bell to never miss an episode.